Yes, my tent. This is my Mountain Equipment Co-op Turn 2, one of the original Turn 2s. It's about 20 years old now, and I'm going to show you how to waterproof it. I've already done the fly, and I used this stuff on it that I bought at Mountain Equipment Co-op. It says it's for solar proofing, but it also is a waterproof. I did the fly completely last fall, or last summer actually, and then I discovered in the fall that the floor needs to be waterproofed because I was out camping with the Cub Scouts actually. I'm a scout leader, and yeah, that's my son over here. I was out camping with them and the water came all up through the bottom of my tent. I was completely swamped. The fly was perfect, but it all came up through the bottom. And believe it or not, I had this tent in storage as well as the bigger version of it. I had them in storage for 15 years. Took them out of storage, threw them in the washing machine because they were so musty. I made sure all the zippers were zipped up. They come out of the washing machine just fine, although at that point it really needed to be treated. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to empty it out, and then I'm going to treat this floor right here and let it dry out. Alright, let's see how it goes. Okay, all I did was I just picked it up by the poles and tipped it over frontwards and shook everything out, and all of the debris that was in there came out. Now all you do is you go in there with the spray. So all I'm going to do is give it a really good soaking, and then you get a cloth and you give it a wipe with the cloth. So I'm going to do this all from the inside. I suppose you could do it from either side. It wouldn't matter too much, I don't think. And I'm going to do the back end first and then give it a wipe and then do the front end so I'm not painting myself into a corner. I did this when you're doing it with the tent set up. I basically just set it up and did it on the outside. Yeah, there's my son. I see you too, buddy. You get out of there. This is spraying. I don't want you breathing that in. So I'm just giving it a really good soak. Now, one bottle of this did I think one bottle per fly is what I had used. So just give that a soak. And now basically just wipe it all down and then let it dry out after that. And that's all there is to it. Just give it a soak, wipe it down, make sure you cover it up well. You may have to there's a different stuff for treating the seams. When I did the fly back in the last summer, there was still a very tiny bit of leakage in the seams, and I got some special seam sealer for that. And I'll show you how to use that when I get around to doing it. Yeah, so and if you're doing the outside, I'll do this part of the outside here. Just give it a spray like that and wipe it all in with your cloth. Your cloth will eventually soak up an awful lot of the liquid, and you can actually squeeze it to drain liquid out for doing other parts. It's a pretty basic thing to do. It's easy as heck. I probably wouldn't have needed to do it if I hadn't have put this through the washing machine. And I gotta say, I'm pretty impressed with how clean both of them came out of the washing machine. That was just a Hail Mary for me. They were old and musty, packed away for 15 years unused, and I figured if that didn't work, then I'd just buy new tents, but it did work, so hallelujah. So I got quite a bit left over after doing it from the inside, so I just tipped it over there on its side, and I'm going to do the whole thing on the outside too. You can see it's soaking through there, so that's probably a good thing. And I'm going to test this weekend. I'm going on a canoe camp with Scouts. My son is moving up to Scouts, so I'm doing some trips with them. I normally teach cubs, or lead cubs, whatever. Alright, let's wipe that down. Get my cloth. And I'm going to have to hold this with my other hand, but just wipe her down. It's that easy. And now we just let it dry out. The first one I did, I treated it at the campsite actually. We went camping last summer. I set up the boys' tent, the bigger version of this. Treated the whole thing, let it set for about an hour. It was dry in about an hour. That was in the shade. It's not a very warm or sunny day right now, so it may take a little more than an hour to dry out. We'll see. Just let her dry and you're done. It will leave some white powdery residue on there in the thick spots. That'll just wipe itself off, no big deal.